It's from Rob Soward.
Thank you, Tony. A question for the panel. The federal government's announcement around the Gonski report funding is well under what the extensive report recommended. Why would the government undertake such an extensive and expensive consultative report that highlighted the need for vastly increased funding, then ignore the amounts of funding the report recommended that are absolutely central to the reforms?
David Marr, let's start with you.
Well, there's not a lot of money around, and the Gonski recommendations are extremely expensive. They're very impressive. The government has faltered here in the sheer size of the amount of money that they're willing to put it into education. But where they've gone to come back for a moment to the point we were talking about a moment ago, is if you look at the amount of money they're planning to strip out of universities, it's almost the same sum of additional money they're planning to give to private schools. This report, this is a country where the government has to decide what is it going to be, what political opprobrium is it more willing to bear? Stripping money out of universities or not giving even more money to private schools. And it's decided on the latter. There is no...
David,
there is no country...
You have to say, most likely they've decided on the latter because the idea of stripping it out of superannuation funds hit a bit of a roadblock. Ah,
yes. Yes, it did hit a bit of a roadblock, a tiny bit of equity being put into the amazingly generous tax arrangements given to the prosperous of Australia, where every prosperous Australian is their own Dutch Antilles. You don't have to squirrel your money away with somebody over in the Virgin Islands, because Peter Costello let us do it for ourselves. Tax-free in the funds, tax-free as it comes out of the funds. The fact that it costs twice as much now as the defence budget is something that we can just sort of put to one side. But let me just go back to my other rant about private schools.
If you keep it brief, David.
Yes, I'll keep it to under 10 minutes.
You certainly will.
There is no country in the world where the governments so lavishly endow private schools as this country. We already spend $7 or $8 billion a year on private schools. The Gonski money, there would be a lot more Gonski money for public schools if we didn't have this enormous drain of public money to private schools, which is going to be increased under Gonski. And while Gonski is fundamentally needs-based, the richest private schools are going to get even more playing fields under Gonski, courtesy of the money stripped out of the universities. That's Australia.
Sophie Mirabella.